All right, welcome to the Prospect Podcast. Coach Schumann here. As always, I have Coach D to my left. Today we have Chaz Locke with us today to discuss game day skins and discuss a little helmet wrap in there and making it look sharp for you and changing your look for special things. So we're excited to talk to you, Chaz. Welcome to the podcast. Or not. Welcome to the podcast. Or yeah. Derek, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Let's see. Should be good. Oh, yeah.
Chaz, are you there, Chaz? I'm not able to hear. He's not speaking or hearing us.
Yep.
Oh, you're good. Can you hear us,
now
Coach?
We're good.
Oh, okay. We're good.
Seemed like there was a slight delay, but we're in now.
Okay, awesome. Cool. We're good.
All right. Chaz, if you could talk to me a little bit about game day skins and the genesis of it, and what it's all about, and then a little bit about your background and your journey in this space.
Yeah, so what skins are is the most cost-effective way to get a skin for another set of helmets, right? Everything is so expensive these days, it's not getting any cheaper. So what skins are like a cell phone cover, but for your football helmets. You want a new cell phone color? You don't go buy a new cell phone. A different for it and pop that it the last 4 to 5 years. I think the company's been around a little bit longer than that. We're on the 3.0 iteration of this type and model of do. I mean, it's this. I got a sample on me. This is what it looks like. This is a purple metallic TCU, and it's bendable, it's malleable, and it just goes right over the helmet. So, prior to that, I worked for BSN Sports, so they're the largest wholesaler and distributor of sporting goods and apparel in the country. So I did that for 6 or 7 years.
Uh-oh. Did we lose him?
I'm assuming we did.
Connection might be is lagging a little bit. Oh. Did he get bumped off, or did you take him out?
I didn't do anything. No.
All right. Well, I mean, look, you saw the product. It's freaking pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it's basically like you just put it over the top, right?
Well, like you said, he described it as it's your most cost-effective way to get a new set of helmets without having to pay for a new set of helmets, right? So he compared it to a cell phone cover.
And then you slap your decal right on top of it, right?
If you have a decal, or if that's like what you're looking to do, everything, it goes right over what you have on your helmet.
Got it. Cool.
Now, and look, I looked at it when we were because obviously I know a couple coaches that have had it or utilized it, right? Like, now look, this isn't just like, putting it over a cell phone. Like, there is a little labor intensive, like you have to take off the face masks if you want it to look the right way and do all that kind of stuff. But to get an easy, 1 week look for what it is, like, or if you're doing, you know, something special, or, you know, some guys have used it for obviously like a breast cancer game, or, you know, something special specific within the space itself. Like, it's, you know, you get all your coaches together or the kids together and you throw them on and you kind of rock and go with them. So it was a really interesting conversation when we, you know, sat down. And I didn't talk to Chaz specifically, but when we were kind of discussing it and talking about it, because again, like, you know, it was one of the first things he talked about, like getting helmets are extremely expensive. And then to get them painted or to do whatever every year in and year out, like, that's a lot. So, you know, and especially for how much guys and kids today want to kind of, you know, switch it up, or optics are such a big thing. Like, I think it's important, right? Especially if it's, you know, you're trying to do a little switch up or kind of change things up.
Hey, we back live at some technical issues down here. We've got rain and thunder and lightning just living in Houston. So my apologies, gentlemen.
You're okay, Chaz. You're okay, buddy.
Yeah, so sometimes you just got to cave in and just go, you know what, I'm going to put the AirPods in and go through the phone.
Yeah, it's all good, brother. I appreciate it.
That's probably easier sometimes.
Yeah.
If you could kind of start again, because it was kind of cutting in and out, just kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what Skinz-Chazz is, we're the most cost-effective way to get a second, third, fourth. I think ULM's going to have 5, maybe 6 or 7 different looks this upcoming season at 80% less of the cost than what it does to, you know, what it's going to cost you to get another helmet, on top of a bunch of other things that go into that. But literally the gist of it is just like this. So this is a purple metallic, you know, TCU, whatever color. So this is what one feels like. Touch it, feel it, see it. It's bendable, it's malleable. You take off the face mask and the chin strap, and then you put the skin over the top of it, and then you can change it to this. I mean, this is a white helmet underneath it. Yeah, from 2 inches away, you can see it. But we do the decals, the skins, anything from the neck above, besides face mask, we're in control of. So that's what this is. I think this is the 3.0 version. When it first started, it was more of a vinyl wrap, like you see on door wraps and walls and stuff like that. Actually, adhesive that stuck to it, and it was permanent. And once you got that, that's what it was. Then it went to a 2.0 version, which is the half shell and a half shell. You put it together, held it together by a stripe. And then now we're all the way to the 3.0 version, which is a full shell. We cover the F7s, the old Vengeance, the new F7 Airs. We're going to be debuting those very soon. Axioms, Speed Flex, and Speeds. We happen to see those. That's what saturated the market the most. So that's what we have currently.
Right.
But that's, any color, any finish. Don't limit yourself to white gloss or black matte. We buy the same paint from the same suppliers that all the other helmet vendors do. So if you see it on Sundays, Mondays, I mean, football's on every day of the week now. If you see a color that you want, we can get it to you at 80% less of the cost. So the average order is probably $4,000. You know, that's still a little bit of an investment up front, but it's so much, it's, you know, significantly less than another set of helmets. And then on top of that,
doubt.
So you go, okay, cool. Well, I can afford another set of helmets. You're big money, whatever. Well, also what you just did is that you bought another set of helmets. You just doubled your reconditioning bill, and then you just doubled your inventory in that locker room or that equipment room. You're lugging around 2 more helmets, and then, you know, so there's a deeper savings within just the initial cost. You don't have to recondition these. If one gets tattered up, you know, in 10 or 15 games, it's painted. It eventually will have some life shelf on it, but you spend $64, $54, you know, $84 and get a new one instead of having to get a whole new helmet and get it reconditioned and all that stuff and start all over again. It's been really cool to see the transition, especially down here in Texas. Previously to this, I worked for BSN Sports for 6 or 7 years in the Northeast DFW market and Houston. So that's where I really kind of cut my teeth, learned my customer service, learned how to take care of people, say what you do what you say, and follow up on things and really earn business that way. But previously, and then I've been here for 3 years. So I think this is the next best thing in the helmet world. I mean, it's revolutionary that you can. Nobody would have ever thought 10 years ago that you could change your helmet look for less than a pair of pants.
Right.
I mean, that's the point where we've gotten to now that we're skins are more impactful and less of the cost than having to get a different uniform, a different top, a different pant. Even a stock pant is going to cost you $3,500, maybe more.
Easily.
You know,
Easily.
So for a set of helmets or a helmet look, and the savings that you get from it is huge.
No doubt. It's so. What is it costing per helmet approximately?
We range anywhere between $55 to $100. It just depends on we're team pricing. Yeah, per helmet. So 30, 60, 90 is kind of our price break, but $55 to $100. And what's dependent on that is your finish. So obviously your chrome is going to, silver chrome, just phenomenal.
Such a pop
right?
Look. Such a pop look.
Your chrome's going to cost you a lot more than just your stock gloss orange, right? A little bit more of a, like that, or a metallic. It's kind of the same range there. So let's just say you're going to order 100 of them. Your price ranges would be 55, 65, and 85 per helmet. And then you just do the math on that.
Right. And obviously it depends on and I think the other thing too is that they're based off of what helmets you have is what you order, because they got to have the right fit to it based off of the helmet.
No. We do it as bulk. If you've got 100 of just this goulash of all these different helmets, types, and sizes, we base it off the total amount. It's not, hey, you order 20 Speed Flex and 20 Axiom, so I've got to price those two separately. No. It's one big, conglomerate of what you got in total, and that's how we roll.
Got it.
That makes sense. And then is it our colleges are probably using it primarily for like a special game or something like that?
No.
Or
you can. I mean, that you're not. Don't limit ourselves here. So Louisiana Monroe wore the red helmets last year. I think 7 or 8 games. Those are Skins.
Okay. Interesting.
ULM, yeah. So they have a red one. They have a black one, and then we also do all their decals for that big shark mouth that they have too. So that crazy with the shark mouth and the stripes and all that extra stuff on it. We do all their decals too. But some people use it for special occasions, one-offs. Florida International does that Miami Vice helmet. That's a skin.
Right. That's fire.
Yeah. And I think we did their decals initially on the first time. So, yeah. So ULM, Louisiana Tech has 2 sets. They wore their black gloss ones in the bowl game that they won last year. Louisiana Lafayette, Florida International, Florida Atlantic. Sacramento State did 2 last year, black gloss. San Jose State, Fresno State. I think we're working with Eastern Washington is going to have something down the pipe pretty soon. We are in discussions with some SEC schools for this upcoming season. I know University of Florida is sitting on a blue chrome one, but they've just kind of been,
Yeah, they're in a little bit of a transition right now, so there's a lot more going on there than just
there's a lot going on there. Right, yeah, and it's one of those things at that level they go, it's, hey, well, let's show somebody else. Let somebody else do it first. But at that level, with this one particular program that we're talking about, we're going to save them over $115,000.
Right.
Just because the cost effectiveness of what we're doing. For them, and this is a very special paint process that we're doing, but usually it would cost them $1,500 per helmet to get this special paint going on. We're going to sell it to them on a Skinz for $150.
Very cool. So it becomes a way for you to change your look without buying new helmets or painting over it, right? That was the original way people were doing it?
Well, I mean, you could still paint over it, but if you paint over a helmet, you're still stuck with one helmet. Everybody wants to have 2 or 3 different looks. So
right.
And that's what we're here for. We I have schools down here in Texas that carry 35 kids on a varsity roster, and they have 3 different helmet looks because of skins now.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
That's cool.
No doubt. Yeah, for those guys, absolutely. And now it adds, and for them, like especially smaller schools, right? Because look, Dave and I both went to small high schools. Like we understand what it's like to have, 25, 30, 35 guys on a roster, right? And that investment in helmets has to be extremely specific within that smaller budgeted program. Now you could take this for whatever the cost is. And now you can go and have that look that some of those bigger schools with more of the money and all that other kind of stuff can go and do, because all they need is, $10 from every player and they'll fundraise for that. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever it is, I'm obviously exaggerating, but to be able to change the look for how much of that aspect goes into the game itself, I think is just huge, whether it be, for recruiting purposes. And now, hey, we're going to debut this, or like you said, a specific type of game situation, kind of where we talked about, our mutual friend from Texas, where they rolled out a white helmet this year for like a whiteout game, where it was just like, you're talking a fan base that's now just like all over something new, because here you can do this cost effectively. And now your kids are bought into it all for that price. Whereas normally, like, and this wouldn't be like, this would be something you have to plan ahead of, because you have to go and order helmets, and then they have to come in and then, get them reconditioned and painted and all of this stuff. Whereas, okay, here you go. We're all together, Monday night, and we're going to slap these things on for the week. Like, let's rock and roll. Cause I have a buddy here in Jersey that did it, and he loved every minute of it. Right. In terms of just he used it as like a team bonding thing too, for the entire team. Like all right, guys, we're staying late after practice. We're all putting them on. Like, we're going to get it rocket. Like it was such a good thing for him and his team to help them kind of switch it up a little bit and trend upwards. He had nothing but great things to say about it.
Yeah, a lot of these programs are starting to switch it to where it is a team bonding experience, and you're giving these kids a little bit more control on Friday nights for what they want to wear, right? They're not calling plays to my knowledge, but they go, hey, if you want to go all white, or if you want to go white, black, white, or whatever combo you want, we've got the skins for it, but you better have it done by Wednesday, because we're not fiddle farting around on Thursday, on game days, or anything like that to get this done. Here's your time. Here's your tools. Go for it. And most of these programs are having their kids flip them back and forth now, which is really awesome. It gives time back to the coaches, and then lets the kids kind of get their hands on stuff, because not a lot of guys are, coming out of high school handy with a screwdriver or a power drill anymore.
That's for sure. I'll tell you that. But I think it's also too, like, again, you add a little something extra for them. And look, we all understand it. Like the first time you do anything, I'm sure there's going to be some issues, or there's going to be some like, hey, we got to get through it. But once they know how to do it, especially for their own helmet, like taking that chin strap off, doing that. And for me personally, I've always believed in this too, as a high school coach, as just a coach in general. If you're fully bought into the sport and you care about it on the level that you talk about it, then I need to know how to work my equipment. And I should be able to adjust my chin strap. I should be able to move my face mask. That's just how I look at it. I don't know if some guys looked at it like that. That's the way I was kind of raised and taught, was like, you were able to adjust your own pads. You were able to do some of these things within the equipment that you were wearing. I mean, hell, football is probably the most expensive sport when it comes to being outfitted in equipment in general. And if this is something, the helmet itself is like one of these things that not every sport has. Your helmet is part of you. It's helping you within a game itself. You should understand how to freaking work it.
Yeah,
like
when we started getting soft, we started getting soft when we invented integrated girdle pads.
Yeah, what? Buddy, I don't think many of our viewers understand what it's like to put pads in pants.
Yeah, and you've got that coach rushing you. Hey, you got 3 minutes to put your pads in your pants and get out on the field, and you're jamming them in there and stuffing them, and your butt pads wrong. Yeah, kids don't know. Yeah. Kids don't know now. They got a 5-pad, a 7-pad.
You're putting the belt through your pads and all this other kind of shit. Like, oh hell no! Now it's one-stop shopping. My pants have the girdle in it, and we're good to go. These guys laugh, man, because I was right at the I was right in the transition to where girdles started to come one spot, right? With your thigh pads, your hips, your butt, like all that stuff used to come in one, and all you had to do was put in your little round knee pads, right? These guys have absolutely no clue and look at like, like I'm wearing a leather helmet. Like that's how they look at this. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a different tone of a world. But it's I mean, it's freaking, so it's really cool to look at it like that. And I know, and we discussed a little bit off air, right? That like there's a lot of room for growth within the company itself in terms of not just football helmets.
Yeah, so we're working on our baseball line. We're going to roll it out very soon because we see that market is massive. The players that play baseball and softball are massive. I've actually got let me grab it real quick.
And then lacrosse.
Yep, that's what we talked about.
And then lacrosse will be the next one.
Like who wouldn't want this for their baseball softball helmets?
Sure,
no doubt.
Evo Shield 2.0. We do the decals for it. Like here's I actually got one on a skin right now. Like here's a sweet, like this is University of Oregon, whatever kind of green anodized that they use. 3D decals.
Yeah,
and then you
3D
take it back off. And
like
and like
and
here
there's
you go.
your helmet.
Like, you want to switch back to your other color? It's on there pretty snug. That's what it's supposed to be. Yeah. Sorry, I know demos are fun on person, right? Yeah.
No, but I mean, look, that's like you don't want that thing moving around. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
not at all.
I think that's
one of my favorite things.
Too.
Coaches go, man, these were tight and hard to get on. I go, well, that's the point because you're going to call me if they're not. But you can see
100%.
There's black helmet underneath it. And the same thing applies. Any color, any finish. Savannah Bananas want to do. I think one of the guys for, Sweet Bro or Dude Perfect, whatever it is, wore a gold chrome one. He probably paid out the wazoo to have that helmet. Whereas for a skin, it would have been, $85, $90.
Right. Very interesting. What about lacrosse? You think you could go there? That's the other one. I see these guys doing those helmets up crazy now too.
Absolutely. The Cascade, I think that's what we're going to have our rollout for. We're still taking a lot of pre-orders for it. It's a whole process to make these, skins for production. But I know that since I've got the ear of the people that play that a lot, the Cascade is going to be the model that we're going to want to roll out with.
Yeah. Really? No, I mean, look, we have a ton of, and even like, where I work, our high school lacrosse team has a really cool type of like, look to it, but they would also love to switch it up. You know what I'm saying? Or love to have some, I think we're in the world of alternative, right? Like when, the NFL started going to, color rush uniforms or just, and I think the rise of social media, Instagram, TikTok, like all of these things were now like the optics, right? Of like, what catches your eyes, right? The recruiting visits where these guys are wearing, 5 different jerseys and they're posing for pictures and doing all these kind of things. You know what I mean? I think Oregon really kind of started this whole thing, in terms of like, they haven't worn the same uniform since like 1990 something, you know what I mean? Just because they've had
tradition was an excuse to be cheap.
It's a really great point.
Oh, yeah. I never thought about that. That's interesting.
I mean, and look, and you can look at some of your traditional programs, right? Like, think about like your Notre Dames of the world, right? Your Penn States of the world, right? Where they're kind of just that plain Jane type of look.
Notre Dame's had multiple different looks.
Exactly. That's where like getting to that, right? Like, you mean those traditional programs, even still now. So like you're talking even like a Michigan with like the winged helmet, right? Like they've done some things to switch it up and whatnot. And I always I'll go back to the program that I'm at now. Very traditional program, been the same helmet since the inception of it. You know what I mean? To do something right where it's not, hey, we're not changing it for the end all be all, right? Like this is just something where we're switching it up for this game. We're changing it and we're tweaking something, a little bit of juice here, but we still have what we are at heart.
And we're not spending out the wazoo for this one special alternative too. So let's just say,
absolutely
the Red River rivalry between Texas and OU, the battle for the golden hat. So like, why not the winner the following year wear a gold chrome.
100%.
You know,
or even I even look at it like, even Chaz, like for me, like I look at it like, look, you want to make the program a little bit of money, and you know what? You put together a bunch of skins and you auction off that helmet, or you do just that alternative, something different look where, hey, this could bring in some money and stuff like that. But I look at it too, like I really think, my mind spin it like with the world of youth sports, you know what I mean? And all the club teams and the crazy the crazy things that club teams do. And especially at that level where, mom and dad are already spending like God knows what astronomical amounts of money. Like they're the ones that are going to pay for those craziness of like, hey, let's get 2 or 3 of these helmets. So we're going to this tournament this weekend. We're wearing this, or we're going to this one, but still have that foundational, this is what we are thing to go back to. You know what I mean? And
you're carrying one helmet with 3 or 4 skins on top of it instead of 4 helmets.
100%.
The kid just pops it back off in between games. I mean, walking from dugout to the next dugout on the field, switching it, putting it on. We think softball is going to be huge for us once we get all the skins for all the sizes and types of helmets. There's just so many batting helmets and whatnot what's going on. But we've had talks with higher up vendors, the actual producers of this stuff. So they're excited for us to come on board, or not come on board, but to keep rowing the boat and pushing the product out for sure.
Right. Because obviously, look, and Dave and I have had these discussions that guys that just, they constantly want to like do their own thing. All right, well, you could be successful doing that. But if we're all in this together in terms of like helmet companies, having conversations with you guys and working together to like just this market itself of, hey, we're all in this. Why can't we all work it out and figure it out? Like, let's go and do that now, because we're going to give the market something that they want, right? And it's not like, I'm sure people haven't thought of this before. It was just a matter of getting the technology together and then putting together the execution. And like you said, you're on model 3.0, and it'll probably be a 4.0 and a 5.0, because you got to evolve with as you go. And that's kind of how, you continued success is you got to kind of tweak it and keep going with what the market is.
Yeah, I was actually speaking with a helmet rep in the last week or so, and I had a lead for him. Somebody needed to buy some helmets, and he, why are you calling me? I said, because I can't sell my product if they're not wearing helmets. I need you to do your job.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, well, that makes sense. So yeah, I mean, we're not.
You're like, I'm not your enemy, buddy. I'm not your enemy. Yeah. I'm not trying to take away from somebody placing 100 helmet order. Like 100 helmet order for you is 100 skins
for me. Yeah, and the likelihood of somebody getting a second or third like full helmet order,
they're not
really
going to do
uncommon.
That. No, not unless you're at
the Division I colleges will do that.
Yep, that's it. Division III
high school football.
That.
Yeah, the Texas high school football is a little different, obviously.
Texas is different.
Good amount. Yep. But outside of that, I see that a lot down here, where these kids are in these multi-million-dollar facilities playing at big 6A schools programs, and they play a little bit and they get a D2, a D3 offer, and they go tour the campus, and they're like, oh,
less.
And they're kind of confused, but like, hey, Johnny, you're a D2, D3 player. This is just kind of what it is. You need to take a step back and realize Texas high school football is, and I'm going to, pound the drum for a second. We're the best.
No doubt.
I know there might be some Florida guys or some California guys on here that'll say something else, but Texas high school football is phenomenal. They don't make movies about Florida high school football or California high school. It's all Texas high school football, Friday Night Lights.
And the biggest differentiator in that too is the financial backing for those Texas high school programs, and that's whether and that's public school stuff, right? Like the money is there to support it. Maybe tax California revenue has a little bit of that, but look, just look at Florida high school coaches' salaries, and look, that tells you what their investment is within it.
Georgia is trying to do more of that. Georgia's trying to do a lot more of that. They're having some good success doing that. And you can see the difference in Georgia went from being, I think, about 15 years ago, they were like, I think fifth or sixth in the number of Division I scholarships. Now they're clearly number 3, I think, ahead of California on most years, right? And the bulk of them are concentrated in those areas where they've invested in those schools that have invested a ton of money in having full-time coaches, head coaches, I should say, and in some cases assistants, depending on what the situation is. But they've done that investment. So in those spots that they've done that, which is probably about 50 or 60 schools, that's the bulk of the Division I athletes that come out of out of the state of Georgia. So it's really it is true. Texas obviously started it. I think that what Texas figured out better than anybody within the public school system is, if you want people to have pride in their hometown and their public school and the programs there, you have to invest in it, because otherwise the people are going to, especially the people that have some money, they're going to just go pay for private school and get the resources there, even if the private school isn't as like big a school. They're going to go there because they're going to get a lot of attention, right? So and they're going to get a lot of focus on the athlete. That's what the Texas schools figured out before anybody, that you invest in the public schools with tax money, and you do that, and you create those ISDs, and you leverage the resources that those ISDs are able to provide. And then
whereas we don't have state income tax, but our property taxes are out the wazoo, and part of our property taxes goes back to the ISDs that you're allocated to, and community colleges and stuff like that. So that's kind of the wash of it. You see it all the time where people talking about, oh, well, he's going to go sign and play professionally in Texas because no income tax. Well, hope you like living in Frisco ISD or something like that, or Houston ISD, Harris County, where we're at, or Klein ISD, or wherever it's at. We're passing bonds left and right. Love to see it, but that is part of it, and I love it. I'm always in support of what we can do to give back to athletes. I'm a former athlete. The more that you can have kids playing sports, the better the community is. The more kids that graduate because it's pass or play, they're at least motivated to go do something.
Great point. And you know what else is
a phenomenal point, Chaz.
Is really important about it is because the property taxes are higher. So where we live in New Jersey, every tax is high, right? So but because the property tax is higher, the cost of the houses relative to where our property taxes are high, cost of our housing is high, and the give back to the school systems is low. You know what I mean? Because you're taxed so heavily by the state. You know what I'm saying? So so what you get with, if I were looking at an equivalent property like that, let's say that I live in even in Allen, Texas, it's 40%, 30 to 40% less. But now I might
more,
per capita wise pay more in property taxes per capita, but really it's actually the same because but my housing price is lower, so it actually still comes out lower, and the state tax is lower. So that's why people are so willing to do it, in my opinion. Because if you were to compare it to a high, and closest to you was obviously California, which would be similar, even more expensive than New Jersey, right? So, so you see that, and you see how that actually works, and you're like, okay, well, you know what? Now I don't have to pay for school. Like I really don't have to go to private school because I got more than what the private school has, unless I'm looking specifically for a religious education. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm looking for my child. That's the primary reason where you see that, or they really want some sort of very low teacher to student ratio.
Yep.
Right. But other than that, there's no reason. In New Jersey, they go because of athletics. People can say whatever they want, but they're going because of athletics. They'll say, I'll go for the academics. And yes, some of those schools are very good academic schools, but it's because the athletes are going because of athletics. So I think that Texas has that really, and Georgia's definitely trying to mirror that if they
I've been
can.
here. I've heard that. I've talked to guys that are in that market or people that kind of work in that realm over there, and they say Georgia is, because Texas we do the state championships at AT&T Stadium, which is a whole nother like dog and pony show. It's awesome. You ever get a chance to go? Like very rarely will you get to, you'll get to sit on the 50-yard line at AT&T for $25, right? So it's 3 days of awesome, phenomenal stuff. And I was talking to a guy, and they said that Georgia's very close to doing similar things like that at the Mercedes-Benz Dome. They're really stepping their game up. So kudos to anybody out in Georgia.
No doubt, and I think it makes football better as a whole. It also other sports benefit from it too. Like I've told Derek, because I ran showcases all over the country for better part of 15 years. And, we go to Duncanville, Duncanville's got nice facilities for football, right? But go look at what their baseball stadium looks like. Go look at their basketball arena, 4,000 seat basketball arena, right? So all of the sports benefit from that, which is what's, and that's just one example. Obviously, Allen and Frisco are at a whole different level, and there's a couple.
Those are massive schools. What's crazy is that you can get outside of metros and find the same type of like high quality facilities at, like you're talking about Duncanville, probably like an hour and a half, 2 hours southeast of it is Athens. Athens High School has a beautiful basketball gym, turf field. They share it with Trinity Valley Community College, like just phenomenal facilities anywhere and everywhere. There's a small, you'll love this, it's called Honey Grove, Texas. It's almost on the Oklahoma border, way up there. They've got a little indoor. They've got a turf field. And especially once you get out West Texas, on those oil fields and stuff, some of those schools have phenomenal stuff. It's like, well, how many kids? We play 6-man. It's like, well, you got like a turf field, you've got a state-of-the-art gym and basketball facilities and all this stuff. It's like, well, that's just what our community gives to us.
It's what we do here.
It's awesome.
Correct, right?
It's what we do here. That's the answer.
Right, and I think.
Good. No, I'm saying, like, we've seen the data come out that says, like, when high school students are involved in athletics, their grades, everything trends upwards. And they've released these studies, and we've looked at it. And when you go across it, it's like Texas is always in the forefront of it, where this stuff matters. It's important. It's integrated into the school curriculum. It's not looked at as separate entities. Like, it is all part of it.
Yeah, we have an athletic period.
Absolutely. And most states don't have that. You know what I mean? In most states, it's kind of like they're totally separate. Yeah, you play for the school, but it's just not looked at in the same way or valued at the same in the same limelight as other states. And it's unfortunate, because the only ones getting hurt by it are those student athletes that do multiple sports, or that are just, you know what I mean? Like, they never have the access to that to see what that can do when they don't have a choice but to do it. Right. The confidence level, just, there's so many positive attributes and qualities that go into it to help for what it's like when life outside, of high school, once you leave the school setting and get into the real world, just in terms of structure and just all of those things that go into how to live a successful life, that it's just, they're short. They're coming out of school short-ended because they don't know what it's like. You know what I mean? And especially when you see those studies that kind of show it, like, here's the data, it proves it. This isn't just like a one-hit wonder type of situation. Like, no, we've been doing this for a really long time. It's taken time to get it right, but that's part of anything. Like, and this is how it works for us. It might not be a copy paste type of situation for you guys. You'll have to figure out what's going to work best for your state or your school or your town, community, whatever. But at the end of it, you're going to be better off for it. So I really wish more school districts would just kind of take it and kind of run with that, because we just look at overall, and we've discussed it so many times on this show, Chaz, like, just the lack of focus on just phys ed class in general, right? Where it's not even phys ed class anymore. Like you're not doing push-ups, sit-ups. You're not doing some of these actual physical things in gym class itself. You're relying on sports to kind of do that. And if you don't play sports, you don't get
it's sit in the bleachers and read a book, which is fine. I like reading books too, but I also played sports,
Right.
You got to do a little bit of everything. The guys at UIL, guys and gals, UIL and THSCA, I mean, two separate entities, but they both work together. They really have set the standard of what we believe high school sports and athletics should look like.
UIL is what? What's Chad? What are the, that's
it's like the governing body, for lack of better words,
right.
we set, I think Ray Cepeda is the athletic director for UIL, but he's over all the sports and how we regulate rules and, the calendar and times like that. So and I think he's had multiple years I think he was athletic director at Cy-Fair ISD, which is the third largest independent school district in the state of Texas. I think they have 12 high schools. So,
well, I mean, Chaz, we just talked about like the Texas high school football coaches clinic, right? Like we just talked about that, and that's something that's on an entire different level. And just the fact that the state itself has a 3-day kind of professional development, right, for all the high school coaches across all sports in Texas. Just that they have that in general, right, is something that really separates, the state of Texas from others. Because look, Dave, like Chaz and I were talking offline about like we have the New Jersey Football Coaches Association and we do a 1-day clinic or whatever, but in comparison to what they do down there with their Texas high school football clinic or their, like I said, their coach teachers school or coaches school, where, all the coaches across all sports from that high school, go to a 3-day clinic per se, or professional development, in Houston. Like, I don't know how many states do that, if any, other than Texas. I'm sure some do, but on what level is it and what scale is that? So I think that just, you can see the overarching, administrators or people in control, their focus is on that. It's the same. It's just as important as all the teachers in the building. It's just as important as having to have those things aligned, or to continuously push about how important these things are, I think are what separate it. Right. And it makes it extremely enticing for a state, like for guys like us that come from a state where that is non-existent. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I think that makes a big difference. Did we lose him? I guess we lost him. Did he have to go, or we just lost him?
No, we lost him. He might be back in because he was going from his phone, so he might have got a call or something.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's I think it's important to invest in your school systems. I think it makes all the difference. I think the teams that do that, like it is it's monumental that they have the resources to be able to invest in the program. Going back to the skins, I was thinking a lot about the skins thing, like the so basically, like once you have them, you just basically have them, right?
You have them, bro.
Do they have to get?
No, they don't have to get reconditioned. They don't have to get anything. That's what you just said. There's no reconditioning. There's no, hey, like you said, if there's if you need to replace one or whatever, you just you know what I mean? Like, here it is. Here's a new one, right? Because all the paint comes from them. So it's not like you're trying to color match or have to do any of that kind of stuff.
Right.
I kind of looked at it like this, in my mind, it went right to kind of it's like a book cover. You know what I mean? When you used to use actual textbooks.
I used to love the book covers back in the day. You'd have all the different types of book covers.
All the time.
Yeah, remember that? Everyone had their own.
My buddy at Passaic Valley used them this year, right? And he's like, look, it was awesome, bro. We went from a green helmet to a white metallic type of on a Friday night, you know what I mean? For a white kind of, they did a white out type of game. And then, they kind of kept it a little hush hush. And then they rolled out with these, and it was just Boom. I know of some other guys in the state kind of close to home that are really looking into it to kind of add that extra one-off type of alternative to it, to their normal repertoire of what their helmet has always been. And hey, we're going to roll this out, whether it be for, recruiting purposes in terms of like, hey, this is a cooler, like, hey, this school does this, and kind of separate yourself in that, or just like, just to kind of like juice up the team for something different. And I think it's really that kind of easy, like you said, to kind of go and do that, for a really, really like, good cost.
Absolutely. It seems like it's a really good deal from that standpoint, from a cost standpoint.
Right. Especially if
which,
you're one of those smaller schools, dude, right?
Right.
Where you can kind of, I mean, like you said, hell, you could have 3. You know what I'm saying? Like, and look, it's kind of hard to go across. And look, you look at, obviously, like, it's not just high school, right? And obviously they're in a really good spot in Texas where there's a lot of schools and football matters and all that kind of stuff. The investment's there, right? But you talk about on the college level, like, name me a Power 4 school that doesn't have 2 helmets.
It's a good point. They all have. I mean,
now
they
you're
all have
going from having and obviously with money being such a thing now, right? Whether it's NIL or whether it's marketing or whether it's, TV money or whatever, even if you can cut the cost off of, hey, we don't need a second set of helmets now, we can just get a set of skins or 3 skins, 4 skins, right? And now we can just, 5, like, we can just go from there and have, hey, this is what we're wearing for this week, this is what we're wearing for that week. Like, any bit of money, any saving that money you can now put into something else on top of, hey, roll in for this recruiting visit. Guess what? Look at these helmets we got.
No doubt. I think that's a huge thing. No doubt about it. Look at the helmets that we have. They're totally they're like, it's a selling point, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a selling point for your school.
Look, you don't make a t-shirt and only make it in white, right? For the most part, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, or hey,
right,
I want this, I just think it's kind of one of those, like, I can't believe nobody thought of this, or like, you know what I mean? And I'm sure they did, but again, somebody goes and actually like does it, right? Or puts it like, here's what it is. Now, okay, here are the issues with it. All right, let's tweak it, make it better. You know what I'm saying? And then obviously branching off into other sports, that's where I really think they can crush the business in terms of with baseball, softball, you know what I mean? Like, because baseball helmets, dude, like, they're obviously don't cost as much as football, but like you said, to just be able to change that thing, like going dugout to dugout, like within a travel game or something of that nature, dude, like, I just think that's so cool. Or hey, we're going to go with this color and we're going to put this logo on it today, right? Or we can go, because at least with football, you have a week leading up to that game. Baseball, right? Like, you're literally playing game. You might play 2 in a day. So, hey, we're going to go with this now, or whatever that is. I just think that market, especially at the youth levels or the tournament teams, the club level stuff, like, I just think there's just so much, like, obviously room for advancement. Like it's freaking unbelievable,
No doubt about it.
Dave, even just think about your youth organization, right? You have how many levels within that youth organization, right? That's like, 20 kids a team, 5 different age levels, 4 different age levels. Like, there you go. You're over 100 right there. Getting new helmets, that's a pretty penny, dude.
No doubt. There's no doubt it's a pretty penny. That's really, really cool. What was I going to say? Do we have him back? Do we have Chad back?
Yeah, no, I'm back, but off screen. I got past the baby, so
What's that?
Brother.
I got the baby.
Yeah.
Oh, you're good. You're
gotcha.
good. It's all right. My 4-week-old, my month-old is literally like I always catch him. I got him down on a routine now, so he's sleeping at the moment, but he'll be wailing his head off as soon as we finish up here. That's how this works, brother. But
I've been blessed to have a hybrid position, and my wife works full time from home too. So we have taken our little advantages of it, but also
nice, buddy.
I am, when I am at home, it's full time daycare too.
No, yeah, buddy. Hey, it's my boss, the guy I work for calls it daddy daycare, because we hammer in on it all the time. Dave's fortunate that his is in school, getting straight A's. So
yes, playing sports, fully involved in sports, getting good grades, committing good things to society.
Absolutely. we're all rolling with it, I am curious for the company outlook itself on marketing and sales and a little bit of that stuff. Like, what's the best, or what have you seen as to be the best selling point for the product itself? Is it actually seeing it and other teams doing it, and then guys see it and they're like, what the hell is this? Is it going to clinics and actually talking to guys and having them literally hold the product and partake in, like, hey, this is what it takes to do that, Chaz? Like, kind of what's that angle been like for you guys as a company?
So when I first started over here in Texas, luckily there was some presence previously with another rep that had kind of built some relationships and stuff. But still, I have calls almost every day where guys go, I don't know what that is. Explain it to me. So you try to get your pitch down. You try to go, hey, man, it's like a cell phone cover for your football helmets. Instead of spending all that money for another helmet, you go and get Skinz. And they get it, and you send a picture and a video, and you show, hey, here's all these schools that are doing them in colleges. And, some guys get it, some guys don't. But the most effective way that we see is getting your hands on one. Like you spoke about going to the clinic and talking with our Northeast rep, Chris, is you touched one and saw it and felt it, and you said, holy smokes, this is unreal.
Because and not to cut you off, but I think that's the other part too, how light it actually is, right? Because obviously guys are like, well, we've seen the quote unquote, like, obviously, I'm sure a lot of people kind of like go into the whole like, oh, Guardian caps or Safer Sports hard shell type of gig, right? This is not any type of product where it's, looking like, it's not based on, or we're not focusing on like, hey, this is going to help you prevent concussions or anything like that. This is literally just a cosmetic cover, right? Kind of like makeup in a way, shape or form, right? But that's not this. But how light it actually is, it's not adding anything to your helmet where you're probably even going to feel it at all.
No, I think the total weight's less than an ounce. And we are here purely for sex appeal. We're here for aesthetic.
Yeah.
There's no way around it. We want you to look good. We want to add other multiple looks to your teams without you having to spend all the money. And there's nothing, more attractive than that. Like, hey, not only am I getting all these additional looks, I'm saving everybody money. I know down here, I had a coach get called into an emergency school board meeting, like day of, like same day. Hey, we emergency meeting, you getting pulled in. He was about to get fired because they thought he was improper use of funds. They thought he went and spent spent $60,000 for another set of helmets. Right. And he had to show them, hey, no, these are Skinz. This is what this is. And they were so giddy about it. They said, well, get a quote for a white set now.
Nice.
So he walked away with winning, because they said, oh, you spent $4,500 to get this black one. Would it be the same price for a white set? So now he has a maroon, a black, a white, and now we're looking at a gold chrome for this upcoming season.
That's pretty cool.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
it's unreal. I mean, like South Oak Cliff were the champagne gold chromes in the state game this year. So, and North Shore has a white set. So North Shore, DeSoto, and South Oak Cliff all are game day Skinz customers for decals and for Skinz.
Right. And obviously where our mutual friend Coach Wardlow is, he North Forney, I believe, is the high school, right? Like, and they went white, right? And I think they 5A, 6A? They must be
6A.
5A.
No, they're
6A. Yeah.
They used to be. Forney used to be kind of a rural podunk town. And
Oh
it
yeah,
has
not anymore.
grown.
Not anymore. He's
No.
talked about it exploding constantly. Like since and
It's-
obviously he's a South Carolina transplant, so he's been there probably over 5 years now, and he said he's just seen it absolutely explode. You know, in terms
it's
of
part of the
population.
metro now.
Right.
Yeah,
Whereas
but I mean,
whereas back in the day they weren't.
Yeah, I mean, right even there in that pocket where Wardlaw's at. So there's like Forney, Kaufman, Crandall, Terrell, all wear skins. They all have a set of skins. And potentially look at another one. I mean, that's where this gets to once people get past, okay, I get a black, so my colors are yellow, black, and white. So I'm gonna get a white one, a black one, and a yellow one. Or I'll have a yellow base helmet. People start going, well, what else can we do? Can we do a silver chrome? Should we do a pink one for breast cancer awareness? Because you're not spending all this cash.
Right. And you go back to the Oregon model, right? Like obviously they were a black helmet or they were a yellow helmet or that would have gold, whatever they call that, right? And then before you know it, now you throw the metallic in there or even, for a while where the matte color was a trend, right? Where high schools literally were going to matte colors.
That's what the Wardlaw did. They did matte white. It was a matte white skin with the rabbits on the side.
Right. Whereas my buddy here in Jersey, they did like a metallic white, right? Like they went for that like shiny, glossy type of like they wanted that white on white to pop on Friday night under the lights. And again,
what do the kids say? Icy.
Yes, there it is. Yes. Like it almost like a piece of jewelry on their head. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what they wanted. And that's what. And again, he used it as like a team bonding thing where they all hung out after practice in the locker room. He got them pizzas or whatever. And they went through it with coaches, obviously supervising, hey guys, here's what we're going to do. Chin straps off, face masks off. Here's what we're going. And then the kids obviously practiced in them for a couple days and kind of kept it a little hush hush. Obviously as hush hush as can be because they were that juiced about it, but he kept it off social media, which I told him was like, dude, that's like a move in itself. That's unbelievable that you kept that off social media for 3 days and then kind of just rolled out, for a big Friday night game against a rival. And for them, they won it. So it was like a big deal, and then they took them off for 2 games and then they wanted to wear them again for another type of game and they rocked them again. Right. So, like I said, the feedback and then obviously
and for the fundraising aspect of it, and I use this when I talk to a lot of these guys that go, well, we can't afford it, or that's a big investment for us. When you ask these kids to fundraise for you, they don't want a Chick-fil-A sandwich until they need it, right? They don't understand I mean, these guys can't look 48 hours in advance, right? But when you give them something tangible, you go, hey, we're wanting to fundraise and it's attainable. Instead of going, hey, Johnny, I need you to raise not only X amount of dollars for our base package, I need you to raise an additional 1,000 and we'll get you another helmet. Johnny, I need you to do our base package. And then if you can get $75 more per kid, we can get another helmet look. Kids go absolutely bananas over that because it's attainable and they quit. They're trying to text or call Elon Musk to donate to Pasquale High School in so-and-so New Jersey, right? Now they're motivated, they're incentivized. We want to get a white one, a black matte, a metallic, a chrome. So guys that are listening to me, like, use it as a tool. I mean, this is supposed to uplift the community and the kids and give them things that they never thought that they could have. I mean, I played small 3A ball in Texas. We suited up 30, 40 kids. Wore one color helmet for 4 years. Never thought that opportunity would come to wear something different. Now we can. I mean, that's why it resonated with me personally. Professionally, yes, it's really cool, and I make a little scratch on the end of it. But now I can go to any school. I mean, I use this on my call. I go, hey, between Van Horn to North Crowley, I've got programs wearing skins. And Van Horn is in the middle of BFE, West Texas. And they are great. They're awesome people, but they've got 3 sets of skins. North Crowley has a set of skins. They're 6A. They were the number 3 team in the nation 2 years ago, and they won state, and they wore skins that year.
It's crazy. And look, guys constantly want, an alternative jersey or like you said, like, just a jersey, just like you said, stock pants in themselves are 70, 75, 80, over $100 if you put a Nike swoosh on it. You know what I'm saying? And those could be your stock white pants with just a swoosh. So for that world of, where the costs really come, and then hey, I'd really love to have a different jersey, but we need footballs. You know what I'm saying? Some of the budgets that some of these guys are working with. And look, is this an entity? Absolutely. But if it gives those kids something different, right? Where hell, the energy that comes out of changing your helmet for a game might be the reason you win the friggin' game. You know what I'm saying?
It's the most impactful thing that you see. What is the identifier for football? It's the helmet. That's what makes football different than any other sport, is the helmet. So we're changing the most impactful, most recognizable thing about the football uniform for 80% less of the cost. I mean, I know I'm gonna get on my Southern preacher stuff, but it's phenomenal what we're doing for the right reasons and helping everybody out.
Right. And you're kind of taking advantage of what the youth and world kind of is right now, where, the likes and the clicks and how many views you get, your video could go viral based off of that. You know what I'm saying? Because of it.
Yeah, I think Baby Gronk might actually, I think he goes or is in Ponder ISD district. So, Ponder has skins. They have a white set, and they loved them last year. Colt Schultz, appreciate you. They did some white ones with the Lion logo on the side. They looked awesome. So, the more that we can get it out, the better. But part of our own problem is they look so damn good and they fit so well. People don't realize these programs are wearing skins. Like, if you go look at the colleges, like I talked about earlier, like if you look at Louisiana Tech or ULM.
Yeah, you wouldn't know that. There's no way you would know that.
Arkansas State, red chrome. Those are skins.
Right. Yeah, you wouldn't know that unless somebody unless they went out of their way to say, hey, we're wearing these or whatever, right? Because look, even with the even with the safer, the hard shell sports company, right? Okay, they match it to your helmet, right? Or the colors and all that kind of stuff, but you can still tell when you're looking at it, there's something else on there, right? When it comes to it, these are so freaking just glove fitting on there, right? Which, again, another part of the product that I think is unbelievable, because nobody and no coach is going to buy something that's going to enable or, inhibit their players from, if it's moving around, or if it's, every time you get hit, it's crooked, or it's this or that, right? So obviously the product has to be on point when it comes to that. And obviously that glove fitting, right? It's like putting on a glove in a doctor's office, right? Or something of that. It's that tight it is what it is.
To be punny, it's skin tight.
Right. There you go. Right. Absolutely. It's what it is. It's why it's in the name, for God's sakes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Northern State, they're a D2 in where's it at? Aberdeen, North Dakota. They had the Bussin' with the Boys guys do their black uniform reveal last year. That helmet is a skin. That's a skin.
It's unbelievable.
And I guarantee you that the two guys, on the Bussin' with the Boys had no idea what it is. They're like, oh, that's a cool black helmet.
Taylor Lewan and freaking what's
Willie.
his name? Will Compton. They got no clue.
Yeah. They're like, oh, that's a cool black helmet. But if they had done, 10 more minutes of research, they'd been like, holy cow, this is unreal. So yeah, Northern State, those guys are awesome. They've got 2 sets of skins and decals. I mean, it's just, we've got a great groundswell movement, but I don't think we've even hit 10% of the total market for
no doubt
high school football or anything combined. I don't even think we're at that number yet. It's just such a new idea and a new concept, but it is just absolutely skyrocketing. The more people that can get their hands on one and touch it and see it and feel it, I think our return rate is minimal, if anything, because people just fall in love with it and the ease of installing it and what the greater point of it is and the cost effectiveness of it. People go, well, hell yeah, no, what's the next color? What are we getting next?
Right.
It's really fun.
I think it's pretty cool stuff, man. I can't thank you enough for coming on and discussing it, because it's something I would never, I didn't realize was available. You know what I mean? It's like that.
Right.
So
Well, we appreciate you
it's
guys.
yeah.
No, like I
No
said,
doubt
look,
about it.
when I obviously I had known about it from, like, my buddy using it this year or whatever, and then when I was at the the Glacier Clinic in Atlantic City, I saw your rep at the table, and we just shit, before we knew it, it was like 45 minutes of the two of us just like going back and forth and having conversations about the product itself and just everything up and above and around the whole aspect of it, and it was just really, really cool. So Chaz, can't thank you enough for taking the time, man, making making some hopefully it'll bring some more eyes to it and whatnot. And whatnot, and hopefully it kind of gets you a little something.
Yeah, we've got a great Instagram. Our CEO runs the Instagram, so all those great quality pictures on stuff, like we really procure that to look phenomenal. At Skinz-Chazz is my Twitter. That's where I kind of live in that world on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, the everything platform. And then we just revamped our website. So gamedayskins.com. We've revamped it so you guys can look through there, look at stuff, kind of get their own idea of what we are and how we do it. Some more pictures on there. Right now, it's starting to get busy. So I know.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. 4 to 6 weeks, give or take.
That's what I was just gonna say, Chaz. Let our viewers know kind of what the turnaround time is from when you actually pull the trigger on, hey, I want to do this with this color or this artwork or whatever that is. Like, give those guys that timetable so they kind of know that window, because, like you said, it's getting close
4 to
to
6 weeks. Yeah,
got it.
Like 4 to 6 weeks is usually our standard production time. Chrome's a little bit longer right now. But if you just go, hey, Chaz, here's my money, here's my cash up front, or run it through the Booster Club. What else do you need from me? Make sure that you've got your helmet inventory, because it's for exact sizes and types. The same way an iPhone 14 phone cover won't fit on a Galaxy S2. You know what I'm saying? Like right. Have your helmet inventory ready to roll, and then tell us, and we'll handle the rest from there. But yeah, I've seen some black matte ones get out in 18 days.
Right.
So we're moving them, but that bottleneck will come because it is the seasonality of the sport.
Right.
Like Texas is alive and well, and I've got guys ordering stuff left and right now. I mean, not to keep pounding that drum, but here are the ones that are doing it. They'll have it all in July and August, and then they'll be ready to roll.
No doubt. That cool stuff, man. Really cool stuff. We'll let you go, but I can't thank you enough for coming on. Reach out to him on Twitter, and we you can talk more about it, and cool, really great stuff.
Yeah, no, y'all get down to Houston. We'll eat some barbecue and drink some cold beers.
Thanks, Chaz. Yes, appreciate you, buddy.
All right, man. All right.
Take care, man. Thank you.
Good stuff.
Something different, bro.
Yeah, I learned something today. Today.
They're so cool. Even just like having it in your hand when I was like messing with, like, it's just crazy. Like, if you can do it, it's just such a cool switch up. You know what I mean? Because even for look, I compare like where I'm at now, right? Like, very traditional. The helmet's been the same for as long as the program has been the same. And look, like, there would be burning crosses on a front lawn of our head coach if he changed the helmet. But for one game, right, to switch something up or do something different or whatever, I think it would be really cool. You know what I'm saying? And then, yeah, there's no doubt, dude. That's exactly what this thing would be. You know what I mean? But I think it's cool because, they'll do the logo, they'll do whatever. There's a big program around where you live that's looking into them. And if he pulls the trigger on the picture that he sent me of what he wants to do with them, they're freaking cool, dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, because you could do them how you want. You know what I mean? You can make it look how you want.
Any type of artwork you want. But I'm just saying, it's something so like, Like, it's just different than what he's done in the past to throw it out there for, it's a cool design. And obviously, look, and then, all the blowback of that's ridiculous. We don't ever want to do that again. Okay. Then it's, you don't have to do it. So you take it off, right? No harm, no foul. You don't have to wait the whole year of using the same helmet, if something is whatever, you know what I'm saying? And you didn't just blow all that money for nothing.
No doubt. Well, that's one thing you don't want to do,
No doubt. Yeah, because nobody wants to freaking do that, right? Like, make that mistake, and now all of a sudden you're, a couple grand in the hole because, okay, we tried something, and, the backlash was whatever it was. So.
Exactly. No, that's exactly it. It's the blowback becomes something different there, and you don't want to. You can just go right back to it.
No doubt.
You can go right back to it if you don't want it. So it's pretty. It's right. pretty easy to do. You know what I mean? Really easy to do. And
absolutely. So, nothing tomorrow. We're back Friday, 10 a.m. with Coach Ron Cook. He's the head coach at Farmville Central High School down in North Carolina, doing some really good things with a program that, wasn't always the best of programs. So, and he has some New Jersey ties in some way, shape, or form that he said, he's like, man, I'll take care of, like, I got to talk to Jersey guys. So we'll see what that brings. It seems like this Jersey connection we have with a lot of people across the country, buddy. Like, somebody always has a tie back to Jersey. Shit. It's crazy.
It's no doubt. It's actually cool. It's a unique thing that we have in Jersey, man. Like, so
no doubt. There's no doubt. It's cool to see that.
Because Jersey people move everywhere. That's why.
100%. Absolutely.
Nobody wants
because nobody wants to live here permanently, bro.
Get me the hell out of here. So because of that, you get some cool opportunities because of that. So
right.
Because more
guys are looking to get out of the state. That's for sure. They'd like to coach at a place where there is spring ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'd like to coach at a state where they can, be the head coach and literally survive on that, or only have to teach a class, right? Like, a little different up here.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, it's something that, like, I think changes what what they do for their career, but yeah, it makes it really cool for us. I mean, we get a lot of cool opportunities because we really end up meeting with a lot of different people, and it's totally cool. Unique. It's really unique, and I think that it's what's interesting. There's so many different things. Like, as much as you read about, there isn't opportunities, like, people come up with so many cool ideas. Like, I just think it's awesome how people come up with so many different ideas, and they're able to make businesses out of it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Yep. That's me, I guess. Maybe,
I mean, look, like, we've look at just within our guests themselves, right? Like, we've had guys that, whether it's Go Route, whether it's Game Day Skins, or whether it's, templates that guys are doing for people, or, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many, or whether it's, however many S&C guys we've had on that have now developed, like, this treadmill or this timing device or something, right? Like, a lot of guys see a need for something, or they personally need something. They go and they make it, and now it's marketable.
Right.
I mean, doubt. If some of these guys could, if you could copyright or patent, offenses or defenses, every coach in the country would have their own business. You know what I mean? Or their own product to sell.
Right. No doubt about it. No. Great stuff, man. All right. Well, we'll be back.
All right, buddy. Enjoy. Friday.
Tomorrow and
Friday 10 a.m.
Oh, Friday 10 a.m. Okay,
Nothing tomorrow.
All right. Do you have a game this week?
Busy week. I have 2. I have one tonight, one tomorrow, and that's the end of the season.
That's it? Like that?
That's
quick.
it.
That was quick.
2 months.
Is it
Yeah, 2
designed
months,
to
give
be
or take.
quick? Is it designed to
Well,
be a quick
this is
season?
well, this year a little different this year because we went to obviously every year adds more teams, so 2 games
Okay.
a week this year rather than just 1. And that'll be the model next year, obviously. But yeah, I mean, even if we were a playoff team, those wouldn't run past the end of May. I think they try to wrap everything up by Memorial Day weekend.
Got it.
Now, I'm curious to see what the calendar will look like next year now that it's been officially set, like officially official. They released that information yesterday or the day before, where it's officially, the whatever state, 17, 18, 19, somewhere around there, state where it'll be a full-blown sanctioned high school sport with, state championships and all that kind of stuff. So be interesting to see what the calendar is. I'm sure they'll push it a little earlier, and I'm sure it'll go a little later.
My foray into the basketball club world begins.
Oh. You're venturing into that space?
Yeah, just
participating or running?
No, just with one team right now.
In terms of like it's your name, like your brand?
Just the Beast.
Or you're joining
why would I change it up? Just use the same brand, right?
No, I didn't know. I don't know. I didn't know if he was playing on a team for a club or this.
No. We played 2 years ago for a club. Really good club actually. But it just the what's the word? The scheduling. The scheduling of it didn't work at the time. But we played two full seasons with it. It was good. It was good. It was great club. And the team they've only added more and more really good players to it. But no, mine was more designed for us to.
Are you coaching it?
I'm coaching the games, but I have a basketball coach that we run practice together. I do the schedule. I know what I want to accomplish. He coaches it. If he can't make a day, I do it. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm obviously a capable coach, but it's a great way to. I think it's a great way to do it because you still have the pulse of the way that you want it done, right? And then he's like very good at obviously coaching the skills and the specific parts of the game, and we work together. I was like, it was kind of my vision for how to do it. You know what I mean? And that way we could get kids better. It's mostly kids from his school, that will play together next year. You know what I'm saying? So like I didn't make it like
you're not doing like tryouts or any of that kind of
stuff. No. That's why I said this is why I'm using this because I'm like, okay, like should I do this with our club teams next year? You know what I mean? And not get ourselves in spots where possible. Why not? Right? Like 18U, that may not be the case, but other grades you probably could do that, right? Because you can get people that are familiar with each other and play together. And I think you'll get a little more commitment. You know what I'm saying? So because if you know each other,
what's the traveling like?
What's that?
What's the traveling like? Is it like are you in a league?
Or no, we don't travel.
No,
it's here, Monmouth County, Monmouth or Ocean. That's it.
But it's just one team, right? Like who are you gonna play?
There's in basketball, there's a whole thing called Central Jersey basketball. So like you remember Asylum?
Yeah.
So Asylum, which is now MSK. MSK has a location also in Marlboro. the training facility that we work out. The brother of the guys who own MSK owns that.
What is it?
And
Central Jersey basketball?
that's the league. The league is Central Jersey basketball, I believe.
Oh, okay. So it's a league. Got it.
So it's like a travel league. That's the best way to put it. And then they have all different levels too. So,
does basketball go by age level? Is it like 12U, 13U, 14U, or is
it goes by grade? It goes by grade, which it makes it. Yes, but it can make it funky because it can make it funky though.
Is this an older team? Is this a younger team? Like, yeah.
Yeah, because 5th and 6th are together, and you can get a 13-year-old in the 6th grade thing. So, the man, like standing at 6 feet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No
Playing
doubt.
against.
I mean, it's the same with 7-on-7. Yeah, that's part of it, right?
Yes. Well, that's the only difference with the age thing, though. The age thing, it's a little more at the younger ages. You have less craziness. I saw the funniest video, and I don't know if it was a joke or it was true or what.
True. It's probably true.
So yeah. There's a video of a kid who said he was 10 years old dunking.
Yeah, I could see that.
How is that possible? How can a 10-year-old dunk?
Jump.
Yeah, I have to say this to you, and you tell me if you think that there's any chance that that's a 10-year-old.
I think I'm looking at it.
Oh, you found it?
Yeah, I think I just pulled it up.
He's got glasses. He's got glasses.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Shit, I only ever wanted to be able to freaking I only ever wanted to touch the rim.
He's 10 years old. He's dunking. He's 10. I think I commented that. Well, if he's 10, man, then I don't know what he's getting fed, but that's
his genetics are unbelievable.
I've never seen anything like that before in my life. A 10-year-old that could dunk. I wonder what Shaq looked like at 10 years old.
Right.
I wonder if he was like that. You know what I'm saying? Where you were like, oh my God,
yeah.
Crazy. Dude, that's what you say. Like, what are things about social media? I would have never known that if it wasn't social media.
Oh, of course not. That's what makes to me, that's one of the good things about social media is the access it allows for you to see things outside of your little bubble, your little town, your little league, your little whatever, to kind of compare yourself. You know what I mean? Because if without that, you don't know unless you kind of seek it out or go to a camp or a combine or one of those things. You know what I mean? You wouldn't know any of that stuff.
Yep. There's no doubt. It's amazing. It's an amazing. When you see some of these things and when you see, I don't know. I still can't get past that high school kids run under 10 seconds in the 100 meters. I
just had a freaking kid yesterday win the Ocean County 100 meters.
Did really?
And
what do you want? Your kid, your team, your team.
A Brick Township high school kid won the
cool
Ocean County 100-meter championship. He beat
that's great. What did he run?
Beat out a kid from Toms River. I don't think it was sub 11, but it was close. In the comment that I got from our head coach, which is extremely explicit, so I can't really say that. He was blank close to a sub 11, so somewhere around 11 flat, I guess.
Okay,
I will get the specific time.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I was like, wow, wish he continued to play.
He doesn't. He's not got it.
Yeah, because with look, he might be able to burn down the sideline, but once that contact happens.
It's a skinny kid, you mean? So he's not
very skinny.
Oh, okay. All right. Well.
Look,
even
either
still,
way,
that's
extremely
still
impressed,
fast,
and I'm
dude.
still tight with the kid. To me, you just won a county championship, buddy. Okay,
that's amazing.
You know what I'm saying? You're already on that level. You know what I'm saying? And it was one of those he was always kind of there, but could never get over that hump of just whether it be a mental block or just those things that happen within a high school athlete themselves. You know what I'm saying? That kind of almost self-hindered, right? Like it was almost self-sabotage on his own part because he never really had that, like, I can do this. So to see him kind of do that, like, extremely excited for that kid and our freaking school. Because believe me, like, winning something like that and saying like, hey, we got the fastest kid in Ocean County, like, damn, okay, that's pretty freaking
That's cool, man.
11.15.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
Now, I did get yesterday one of the guys say, I watched Jabril run the 100 back in the day. And I said, well, you're talking
Let's
about a
not
freak
compare.
of freak. Right.
Yeah, let's
I
not
said,
compare.
buddy, you're talking about a freak, which was
A
his
pro.
thing too.
You're talking about a pro.
And you're talking about a guy that would have been on the podium like in Texas or in Florida, probably, right? Like in comparison to some of those. Because I mean, look, an 11-1, that's, I don't know. Is that the meet of champs? Are you in it at 11-1? Maybe. I think you're not. I don't think you're on the podium. But
Right.
compared to some other states, like 11-1, you might not even be in the last heat.
Right.
You know, I'm not trying to like, you know, rain on the kid's parade or piss on his progress, but like, again, go back to social media, how it expands and you get to see other things. Like, you know, when you were in high school, Dave, I don't think that, you know, we were able to watch the Texas high school 100-meter championship. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no.
What newspaper would we have had to do that to get to that? You know what I'm saying? Like you would have had to know somebody in Texas to tell you, hey, this guy ran this. Or you would have heard about it 3 weeks later when it finally got to you, like or something. Now we know, like within the race, like we watched the race, for God's sakes.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's I think that's what makes you know, social media and all this stuff cool. Like, yeah, like look, there's pros and cons to everything, you know.
Of course.
But it yeah, that's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool stuff.
I will tell you this, next Monday, right? We have a really good we're gonna get not only the head coach of St. Anselm, but the DC and Chad as well, both want to come on and talk transfer portal with us.
Wait, from where?
St. Anselm.
Oh, okay.
So obviously we've had both of them on individually, right? But they want to come on collectively together to just talk about just some of the things, you know what I mean? Joe Adam obviously is the head coach. He's been on, right? And then Chad Brain, you know, he's the DC, I believe, or special teams coordinator, one or the other. I always get them mixed up, but they want to come on together to talk about, you know, just whether it be to educate people on how the transfer portal works or, you know, their individual move from them going from Division 2 to Division 3 and kind of maybe clear the air in some way, shape, or form as to like why we're doing this, the benefits of doing this in comparison to some of the other things. But next Monday, 10 a.m., we'll have both of them on to kind of talk about it. And they reached out to me, which is awesome.
That sounds great. That'll be a lot of fun. I think this podcast is doing a lot of cool things, you know, and I've been able to rebirth, as you've probably seen, which I think is helping the podcast. I'm just looking at the numbers on it. I've been able to rebirth my shorts end of things, which,
and I think we are a little, and I don't want to say it's because the guests are across the board, like, you know what I mean? Like we're always going to have guests and whatever, but I think too, right. Just the way the calendar works, whether it be who's watching it or the guests that are coming on, some of it is seasonal in that, hey, you know, we just went through a stretch where a lot of college coaches are in spring ball, right? So they may not have time to come on or watch kind of what's going on, right? Even if it's a short or something, right? Like they just have other things going on. This is the time period now where they're out on the road recruiting for the next 2 weeks, right? Or now we're getting into summer where there's kind of like a little bit of like a lull. Maybe guys aren't on campus as much, right? Or guys have a week off or whatever. I think there's some of that. And obviously us having done this now for, over 2 years, we can see some of those cycles in terms of how viewership and guests and all that stuff play into kind of like who's watching, what's hitting type of those types of things. Like, I think we can kind of, we have some data enough to be like, okay, this is going to be more of this, or this is going to be more of that, right? Like we can kind of put things into certain categories in terms of like what's going on, because, there are so many guys that are like, hey, we just finished spring ball. I'm on the road. Like, give me a week, or I'm just finishing this, or school's about to end, right? I'm going to be on the summer. Like, look to that, you know what I mean? Like, in terms of their calendar and their schedules, I think we can kind of see some of the data on that and link it back to certain things, which, that only comes with having done this for as long as we have now.
Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. It's really, it's really, it's,
and the other part of it too, right, is look, we know in November and December, a lot of people want to talk S&C because they're going into the weight room and what's their program going to be and how are they going to do it, right? Or, come February, guys are getting ready for spring ball. So let's talk some more scheme stuff or mental side of it or culture building, right? Like this is what we're talking about now. Or, like right now, like guys are talking about like, hey, should I order game day skins or should I get go routes or some of that type of stuff, right? Like I think there's some trends within it where, guys are looking to get information on certain things. And I think that correlates with the calendar a little bit.
No doubt about it. Absolutely. 100%. Right. It completely correlates with it.
Right. Like, hey, I'm about to start back with my team, or, hey, we're talking about youth sports in the spring. Like we know spring is infatuated with youth sports of what guys are doing. Right. So like you can just see kind of some of those dribs and drabs of like when things are quote unquote important to people or what they're looking for, like directly correlates with a calendar. Right. And like now that we know that, like for me personally, I can hit on that and say, hey, I want to get this type of person on, or we need to talk to somebody in this world or whatever that is.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Well, all right, man. Well, it's great pod. We'll see you on Friday. Enjoy the day, man. Sir. Beautiful day. Oh, well, it's going to rain shortly, but all right, bro. Later.